Hi everyone, this is Stephanie with the Bootcamp Girl. In my last video, I talked about permanent weight loss versus temporary weight loss and how permanent weight loss is the ideal solution, the ideal result that people would have in their life when they start a weight loss program. And what I had said before is that in order to have permanent weight loss, you need to have a new permanent way of eating. One thing that you're going to need to accept is that there are foods that are very addictive. And if someone is overweight, that means that that person is consuming more food than their body needs. And more than likely, there are foods that you're addicted to that you don't really have a lot of control over consuming too much of it. Like, you may have good intentions. You may say to yourself, I'm just going to have one of whatever it is a day, and just as a treat. But then there's that day where work is really stressful, you're feeling bad, and you just say to yourself, I'm not going to moderate today. I deserve this. I deserve whatever it is. You deserve this. And that may be true. You might deserve a lot of things, but regardless, that's going to make you gain weight, and you weren't able to moderate that food. And we are really conditioned in society to believe that we can do things in moderation. I've written blogs about this. I talk about this a lot. If you look around you and you really just examine your own life, you can answer that question for yourself. If you're overweight, I would bet there are foods that you just eat more of than you should. And it may not even be all the time, it may not be every day, but on the days that you do have more than you should, you could be eating thousands of calories more. Sorry, my phone is on. You could be eating thousands of calories more than what you need for that day. So for example, if you want to lose a pound, you have to burn off 3,500 calories. And the same thing is true when you gain a pound. You have consumed 3,500 calories more than your body needed that your body used for energy. So if you've gained, say, 10 pounds, you've consumed 35,000 calories extra. You've consumed, think about that, 35,000 calories above and beyond what your body needed. So you already know that you can't do things in moderation, that you're not eating the amount of food that your body needs for energy. You're doing way above that. So with that in mind, if you accept the truth of that you have tried to do things in moderation, you want to believe you can, society tells us that we can, food companies, that's their marketing platform, that it's okay to do it in moderation, but they know, and they actually intentionally make their food addictive so that you buy more, so they make more profit. It's kind of evil when you think about it, that on the one hand they're telling you it's okay, just have it in moderation. On the other hand, they're putting all these chemicals and other things in the food, and sugar in and of itself is really addictive. I think a lot of people know that. So on the other hand, they're putting all those other things in the food, like salt, fat, sugar, and other chemicals that are making you addicted to it, but they're selling you on it, saying you can do this in moderation, but then when you buy it, your body physically is addicted to it. So you got to realize you're being manipulated by food companies, and then our society in general has gotten this idea that you can do it in moderation, although more than half of our country is overweight and obese. So I think that in and of itself is proof that we're not doing it in moderation. It's not working. So that being said, you need to eliminate certain foods. You need to say to yourself, that donut or that, latte, whatever it is that you eat, or the potato chips, whatever it is that you're eating, you might have to say to yourself, I just need to eliminate this completely. And if you're not willing to at least give up one thing, like just to say to yourself, I'm done with this, you're gonna have a very difficult time. You're gonna be very frustrated, and it might take more time for you to really eventually kind of come to that conclusion. You may not be ready to hear that. I know not everybody is ready to realize that they need to make eating changes because they really don't want to. But if you tried other things before, and if you've been on diets before, and you know yourself and you keep gaining the weight back, I would highly recommend, because I know it works, finding something that you're addicted to and just saying to yourself, you know what, that's it. I'm not going to have it anymore. And one thing you can use to motivate you is you can have like that ideal image of yourself or that ideal way that you're going to feel if you do lose the weight. And you can do something like make a collage, and have, pictures of maybe when you looked how you want to look, or the size that you want to be, or going on vacation and being really active and being able to keep up with your family. Because some people, that's part of their issues. They feel when they go on vacation, they're afraid they're not going to be able to keep up with their family. Or I have a client that said she was afraid she wasn't going to sit in the airplane. She just joined the program. She started to lose weight, but she just started. She was afraid she wasn't going to be able to fit in the airplane seat. I mean, these are pretty serious concerns that people have. So when you are thinking about changing your eating habits, one really great way to motivate yourself is to think about how much greater and how much better life would be without that food tempting you, without that food getting into your body and creating a body that you're not happy with. Nothing tastes as good as being fit and healthy feels. I can't think of anything that would even come close to coming close to tasting as good as how being fit and walking around and feeling good and fitting into the clothes you want to wear and being able to buy whatever you want, not to have to go into that next size or that other store because you can't buy clothes in the regular stores anymore, and that happens to a lot of people too. So step one, you've got to accept that there's a lot of food being manufactured out there. It's really intentionally designed to get you addicted to it. People are getting addicted to it. You don't need me to tell you that. I'd rather you figure that out for yourself. You can actually go online and just Google that yourself. Addictive food, or companies creating food that's addictive. And if you look around, go to a fast food restaurant, go to other places, and you'll see people's weight, you see their size, and you realize they're not doing that in moderation, even though they're probably trying to, or they have a good intention to do that. So first of all, let's treat it the way it really is. It's an addiction, just like smoking, just like drinking, just like drugs. It's an addiction, and any addiction, we kind of intuitively know you got to totally stop it. Like if someone said, well, I think I'm going to try to do smoking in moderation. If that was your friend and your friend said that to you, you'd probably be thinking, well, I don't think they can do that in moderation. You may not say anything, but really no one really says that. People say, I'm trying to quit smoking. Because everyone has accepted that it's just too difficult just to do it every once in a while. Once you do it a little bit, you're doing it all the time. It's the same exact thing with food. We have just been manipulated to believe that food, like any food, can be done in moderation. And I hear this all the time. And I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to look at your own experience and make a decision for yourself and say, has that ever really worked? Do I know anyone that's overweight, that's lost weight, and kept it off using that philosophy? They may have done it for a short period of time, but have they maintained that for years afterwards? Are they able to eat that junk food? And I'm talking about people that have had a weight problem. I'm not talking about people that maybe are naturally thin and never have had a weight problem, or have never really got caught up with food. Some people, there's like the exception to the rule where there's people that do eat certain junk foods for some reason. It doesn't have the same impact on them, but those people have never tried to lose weight before because they never needed to. So what I'm talking about people that have needed to lose weight, have lost weight, have they actually maintained it with the moderation philosophy? And my guess is no. In my next video, I'm going to talk about permanent exercise habits and how we need to we need to have permanent exercise habits to have long-term weight loss. And really, that's not even the main reason for it. There's so many other reasons to exercise that have nothing to do with weight loss that we also have to keep that in mind as well. All right, so I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Thanks.